So, I learned something recently. You can't breed villagers if mob griefing is off. So, I spent a little bit longer than I would care to admit trying to figure out why these guys wouldn't breed. I had two people in here for a really long time, and they weren't breeding. I was giving them bread and everything. Then I brought a third guy in there because I was like, maybe for some reason these two guys just like aren't compatible. Well, turns out that it's because I turned mob griefing off. So I'm still debating if I'm going to turn it back on or not. I feel like I will turn mob griefing on, but I haven't quite made that decision yet. Not breeding the villagers isn't necessarily taking things away from the world, it's just making things take a little bit longer in the early game than they normally do. Thankfully, because we are in a taiga, there are these igloos that I found, and at the bottom of the igloos, we have some villagers. I did purify the villagers that are in here, and I did set up some more trading areas, and we got a pretty good trade for efficiency 5 that was really helpful for me getting my tools. So now we've got some pretty rad tools that have made resource gathering much easier. And I also have this cleric who is pretty nice because he has 1 emerald for ender pearls, and ender pearls are kind of difficult to come by, I've discovered, for at least me right now. So that's been pretty nice. This guy was a slog to grind up, by the way, because his trades weren't really awesome, and I had to make some hard choices about, like, do I trade him some of my gold, which I wound up doing, and he also has some bottles of enchanting, which are pretty good. That's going to be a pretty good trade, I think. At the other igloo, I have an unbreaking villager, and boy, does that unbreaking villager rock. He has an unbreaking 3 book for 1 emerald and a book, which I think is a pretty good trade. Those two villagers have made my life much, well, 3 if you count the cleric. The 2 librarians and the cleric have made my life much easier recently because they have allowed me to get better tools much faster. And the upgraded tools have made resource gathering a lot easier for the next build that we're going to do. And that build is going to be a greenhouse. And I hope I counted better this time than I did last time. If I didn't, that's okay. But I got these materials a lot faster, and if we need to get more materials, then at least I have tools that will make that process a lot faster. I feel like a greenhouse is a very logical thing to bring in to the world because, at least in this specific area, because it is a very snowy area, and it would make sense for there to be a greenhouse where you grow stuff instead of there just being all of this around where it's kind of exposed to the elements. So that's what I'm going to try to tackle today, and maybe later we'll hit up the nether and I'll do a little bit of exploring. But the main thing is I really want this greenhouse put together so these plants have a home and they're not just sitting out. So without any further ado, let's get building. And the finishing touch. Ta-da! Wow! It's basically done! I love this greenhouse so much. I think it's really good. It needs a little bit of light though. I'll put lanterns there later, but I don't have lanterns on me, right? Put lanterns around later, I should say. I like it a lot, actually. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. Hold on. I'm really excited. I need to go get the lanterns really quickly. We'll put a lantern right there. Put a lantern right there. There we go. All right. I really like this. I love how it turned out. And it's really cozy. And I need to sleep now before any evildoers show up. But we're not quite done with building yet today, because in here we only have wheat and sugarcane. And we still need a place to put our potatoes and carrots, eventual carrots. So what I need to do now is we're going to build a second greenhouse over here in a little bit of a different style, just for something different and a little bit of contrast to this. And this will house the potatoes and eventual carrots. So without any further delay, let's get building again. And just like that, it's done! Woohoo! I really like it. I think it turned out pretty well. I like the more stony feel that I gave the potato and carrot farm. As it stands, I don't actually have enough potatoes to fully complete the farm. So potatoes and carrots to fully complete the farm. And eventually the farm will get more complete as I get more crops to fill it up with. But overall, I really like it. I like the stonier feel to this one. I wanted something that wasn't quite as woody, as cozy as that one. I wanted to do something a little bit different to give the area a little bit of like differentiation so not all the buildings looked exactly the same. And I think I did a pretty good job. I might change out those 2 spruce blocks on the sides right here at some point, because I'm not too crazy about those. I did actually try out pale wood trapdoors for those instead of birch right there, but I didn't really like the way that it looked. I thought that it was just a little too bright, and it also just looked a little pink. And it didn't have as much of like a white look to it. I mean, it did have a white look to it, but it also had more pink than I was looking for, oddly enough. It almost looks like there's pink here. I don't know if I'm going crazy or not. To me, it just looks like there's a little bit of pink. The thought process for the builds was pretty similar to the cabin over there. It was, shape, then color, then texture. I think that it turned out pretty well. I didn't want them to be super big because I wasn't in the mood and I didn't quite have enough stuff to make it like a really big greenhouse. I also don't think that greenhouses tend to be super big, at least like the personal ones that I looked up as reference. I might expand them in the future as my needs grow. But for now, I think that the greenhouses will do me just fine. And I will probably off camera transform this area back into more of a natural state so that it just looks better. Because right now it looks a little weird with the house in the background and then the farm and the chests, I think. I think what I want to do is I want to do some exploring in the nether. Specifically, I want to check out the nether fortress. I've got enough food to last me for a little bit, so we're going to head into the nether for a little bit so that I can get a feel for the nether area, and we'll see kind of what happens. Here we are in the nether. I have my building blocks right here. Ow. What? How did I catch on fire right there? Did a blaze shoot me? A blaze must have shot me, right? Is there anybody around me who's gonna be mean? No. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna bridge over really quickly. Don't mind me. Okay, here we go. We're in the fortress now, officially. Let's see what all the nether fortress has for me. I don't have anything gold on me, so these guys are gonna be mad at me. That's okay, though. Oh, hello, Magma Cube. Hello. I'm not gonna hurt you, don't worry. I would really like to find some nether wart. That would be great, so that I could make some potions. I don't have a shield. That was maybe not a great plan, but we're already here. So, ow. Haha. That's right. And I got a blaze rod. That's good. Got some quartz right here. We'll take that. I'm excited to have this quartz, or to find this quartz, because I like quartz as a building block. I think it's really nice. It's a really good color of white, I feel like. It's more blazes right there. At least I know that I'm not going to have any shortage of blaze spawners. Aha! Nether wart! Exactly what I was hoping to find. Looks like we've got a crimson forest right here. That's pretty good. Hello? Ah! I don't want to hit you. But you're really close. Oh. Are you gonna fight him? Haha. That's right. That's what you get for hitting the zombie pigmen. This might be the end of the road right here. Yeah, it looks like it. Which is, like, okay. I mean, there wasn't much loot in the nether fortress, but we did get the nether wart, which is very important, and there are a few blaze spawners, so we'll take it. I'll head out of here before I push my luck too far, though, because I came and I got what I wanted. I got the nether wart, and I'm out of here. Goodbye, nether. I have some blaze rods, which give me blaze powder, which will give me some eyes of ender. We're one step closer to the ender dragon, and that means that we're one step closer to an elytra. Really excited to fly. It'll be a lot easier to travel around, that's for sure. I really wanted to challenge myself a little bit to do a different roof design, because that one was really shallow, and so I wanted to do one that was a little steeper, just to try my hand at something different so that the roofs didn't all look exactly the same. And another thing that I wanted to do with this greenhouse was create some three-dimensional depth right here, because I thought that the cabin was kind of flat. It all pretty much, except for the roof, is like a flat line. If we go to the side here, we can kind of see that it looks really just straight up and down. There isn't a lot of depth this way. So that was something that I wanted to challenge myself with a little bit with the greenhouses, is create depth left to right. And I think I did that pretty well with like the glass panes and the glass differentiation, and adding the trapdoors every so often, and the stairs here to add a little bit of that kind of depth that we were talking about. And we have like the walls here, the extended overhang. I don't know exactly what this is called. This was in a lot of the pictures though, this like kind of overarching thing right here. I'm not an expert on greenhouses, so I don't know why that's there, but it kind of works for this specific biome a little thematically, because like it keeps the snow a little bit further out of the greenhouses. And then I also added these like icicles right here. I couldn't figure out how to add them right here because I really wanted these trapdoors right here. I liked the look of the trapdoors, and I couldn't place the panes right there just because that's how Minecraft works. At least that's how it worked, like, as I was testing things out. But I did manage to get them here, and I think that they look okay. I'm pretty sure I like them. The village might actually have carrots added. So let's go see if the village has some carrots there, because that would be super convenient if there were carrots at the village, because that would give me all the crops pretty much. There are carrots. There aren't many, but there are carrots. We'll take them. I think there was one other garden a little further out this way. Any carrots? No carrots. That's fine. I'll just take my 4 carrots and I'll mosey on back home. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfecto. And now that we've got a fair number, I say a fair number. We have 3 buildings to be exact. We've got the house and like the 2 greenhouses. It's not super crazy, but we are slowly building into a setting. And with that, having just all of these buildings here, they kind of stand out because the environment hasn't really been touched around them. And it's okay, I think, for the cabin right here, because we have it kind of elevated, and we added the staircase leading up to it right there, so it does stand out, but I feel like it stands out in like an appropriate way because it's got the trees around it kind of creating it like a little bit of an alcove. And to make it blend in a little bit more, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make little lampposts out here. And I want to do that just because I don't want anything to like distract too much from the greenhouses themselves, but I also feel like having something here will be helpful just to help kind of break it up and to bring a little bit of life to the area so it's not just the greenhouses right here. Another thing that I thought about doing was kind of inspired by the ice spikes that are over that way. I was thinking about, keyword thinking here, about trying to make like some custom ice spikes. I've never done something like that before though. It could turn out really cool, or it could be a disaster. But I'll never know if I don't try. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to try and put some things around here and to spruce up the area a little bit. Alright, and with those few changes, I think that it helps make these buildings not stand out so much alone. I think I like the lampposts. I like this little pile of ice right here. I know that. I think that looks kind of cool. And I also added a little smaller one over here. Like I said before, I was just trying to add something, or a few somethings in this case, to help these buildings blend in a little bit more with this area, help us make this area look a little bit more settled in, and that will help us bridge the transition to other projects, like doing something with these animals. The process that I used for making these spikes is I really was trying to just come up with as many kind of sharp edges as I could, because I thought that would give the look that I was looking for. I have a lot of, or I at least tried to have a lot of, oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Uh-oh. I was trying to just have a lot of really sharp edges because I thought that would help accentuate the idea that this is an ice spike. I will probably continue to tweak it as I was kind of tweaking it just now. And the lampposts are very similar to how I just did the lampposts up on the second floor right there. Just some fences and some lanterns on the top in different areas, different configurations. This time I put some dark oak slabs on the bottom just to add something else so it wasn't all fences. I will probably do some more things off camera, but I think that does it for this one. I'm pretty pleased with how it all turned out. And with all that said and done, I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and I also hope that you guys continue to have a good time and to make it a good time. Catch you in the next one.